The goal today is to get my 10 steers moved up to our new summer pasture, but before I can do that, I need to run them all through the chute and give them their shots and give them some identification. Normally, this would be a pretty straightforward task, but over the last week or so, the cows have been coming into heat, and the bull, who's been staying in this working corral, has made a few modifications to the fence that's gonna make this a little bit more challenging. That's what's going on today on Farmertylerranch. The first challenge that he left me is right here at the end of the tub. There used to be a fence line that would come out to here where this gate could latch to, but as he tried to push his way through this gate, he snapped that post off and broke all of these boards and just kind of messed it up. So that's actually not the worst thing in the world, because eventually I was probably going to take that out anyway and then make like a short metal piece of fence that came off the tub that this gate could latch into. So this was coming down at some point, but just not yet. So as we bring the cattle in here, this won't cause any problems because this gate opens that way and it actually creates like a wider pathway for them to come in here. So that part's not bad. But when we go to get them in the trailer, that's when it gets a little bit more challenging, because as you can see, as we're trying to run them through this way, there's going to be a big hole here. So I'm probably going to have to get a portable panel or something like that to fill this gap in, which I don't really like doing, especially when I'm pushing them into a trailer. But today we don't really have much choice. So while the big boy here pretty much refused to stay in any pen that I put him in, I finally ended up just putting him here in the tub. This is my only structure with 4 walls that are all steel and all tall, that he couldn't jump over, couldn't push through any gates, and this has held him. He's definitely antsy. He wants to get out with those cows, but it's just not quite time yet. I need to first bring the cows through here, give them their pre-breeding shots, and then 2 weeks after they get those, then he can go out there with them. So now the question becomes, where do we put him while we're bringing the steers through here? Because obviously the steers are going to need to run through the tub to get through the chute so that I can do the things that I need to do to them today. So he can't stay in here. He's going to have to move into a different pen, and I'll show you what my plan is. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but it's what we're going to try. I'm going to try to put the big boy in this little corral here. This is normally where I feed the weaned calves or the yearlings. So this is where I made the round bale feeder this last winter. So I'm going to try to put him in here. I had him in here before and he broke out. So I've made a few little modifications to the gate there. Hopefully he won't try to do that again. The other thing that I have working for me today is that I've got a south breeze. So the wind is blowing this way and the cows are up this way to the north of him. So if anyone's putting off any sort of enticing scents, the wind should be blowing them all the other way, and hopefully he won't smell them. And if he doesn't smell them, then I'm hoping that he won't be quite so motivated to go get back with them. The reason all the water is on the ground here is because I cleaned that water trough out yesterday. So the big boy is going to have all fresh, clean water in there, which hopefully he appreciates. Well, he seems pretty happy and content right now, so hopefully that lasts for the rest of the day. Of course, it is a little bit frustrating when he breaks fences and doesn't stay where I put him. But, you know, when I really stop and think about it, I can't get that mad. He's just trying to do what he's here to do. And I mean, really, it's my fault because I don't have the bullpen done yet. I should be happy because he's an older bull, and I should be glad that a bull that's that age is still showing this much interest and excitement before breeding season. Because as they get older, that's not always the case. Go ahead and leave your jokes in the comments below. Today we're going to be dealing with mid-sized cattle. These steers are a little over a year old, so I guess you call that a long yearling. And that means that they should be right around like 800 or 900 pounds. The chute's got 3 settings on it. One for, well, I guess the biggest setting would be for big cows, the smallest for little calves, and then it's got a middle setting that'll be perfect for these guys. All I'm doing here is, as I change these pins at the bottom of the body squeeze panels, it makes it narrower down there, which is going to help to like cradle their body a little bit better since they're a little bit smaller than a full-size cow. It's probably not completely necessary to do this. I mean, the chute would have held them the way that it was, but you know, we have the option, so why not do it? Part of the way that the squeeze works is by holding their body, by squeezing it, but the other part, you know, which we're accomplishing by narrowing up those body panels, is it kind of throws them off balance and like puts their legs together close so they don't have a lot of power to try to move around. Well, as luck would have it, just as I get done screwing around here in the corral getting everything ready, the cows have come up to get a drink. So it looks like all of my steers are up here in the big corral. I'm gonna go slam the gate on them and I should have them. Well, that was too easy. I was all ready to go out there and chase everybody up here, but now I'm not gonna have to. So I think, since I'm only pulling 10 out of here, that, well, mostly because I have young calves in here, and young calves just make things more difficult. But I think the way to do this, maybe, we'll see, but anyway, the way to do this, I think, is to just bring the steers back individually until I have all 10 back here. Hey, it's okay. Well, 2 down. If they all go that easy, I don't know, we're getting spoiled now. I just don't think I can fit all of these guys in my trailer. I think I could probably get like 8 or 9 of them, but I'm just not sure I could squeeze that last one in. So as long as I'm going to be making 2 trips now, which I hate to do, but I think really in the big picture, it's actually a lot less trouble to just do 2 loads. They'll be easier to load up that way. Just everything will be easier. Today I'm giving these guys 2 different vaccines. The first one is for BRD and the second one is just the generic 8-way. First 5 done, let's get the last 5. guys are done, we need to run home and get the trailer and get them loaded up. Wow, they're actually going pretty good. Well, it'll be interesting to see what that looks like on camera, but to me, it felt like a pretty close call. I think I was just trying to juggle too many things in my hands, and I thought that steer was going to kind of go into the trailer, and he decided to start backing up, and I was in a bad spot that I shouldn't have put myself in, and well, you know, I got lucky. So those are the things that you learn from, and it's good when, you know, it's a close call, not a disaster. This is probably the worst size load. There's enough room for them to move around a lot, but there's too many of them for me to shut the crowd gate. So in that regard, this is actually not that great, but we're not going too far, and I think once we get moving, they'll settle down. Well, we just pulled in, and I gotta go find the correct gate. I'm gonna try to keep them in the front pasture only, and I think I need to get the truck turned around to do that. So yeah, it's exciting. Are you excited?
There you go. I like your...
Oh boy, we're in heaven now.
Tyler said that I was his supervisor.
I've got my supervisor here with me today.
Should we fire him and hire you? Should we hire you because you're so cute and you listen to your mama? Do you listen to your mama? Hi. Bless you.
Well, we're back here at the ranch now, gathering up load number 2. The lead steer is backwards, which is not ideal, but it's part of the reason why I made that ramp going into the trailer, so that they can actually back into it. Doesn't look like it's going to happen this time. I decided to set the camera down so we didn't have a repeat of the first load, and we didn't. Things went a lot smoother, but unfortunately, I didn't get any of it on film. You know, me closing a gate, it doesn't really change too much each time I do it. Let's go grab a few Redmond blocks and get these guys dropped off at the pasture. We got our 2 loads of steers delivered with mostly no problems, so I guess I really have no complaints about this. After seeing the 10 steers out there on the pasture though, I'm starting to feel like maybe they are not going to be able to apply enough grazing pressure to keep up with that. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. I was thinking that if it turns out that those 10 steers just can't keep up with the grass over there, that after I take the bulls out here at the home ranch, I could send a few of these heifers that I've got here over there because they wouldn't have calves to bring with them. I'm not really sure. We'll just kind of have to wait and see how things kind of pan out over there and what it looks like. But for now, hey, I'm, in the middle of something here. But for now, I think I'm gonna call it a day because I'm sure it didn't look like a lot of work on camera, but it was, and I'm tired. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.